thing. Who came up with this obscene rule that you can't wear fur in the summer? Certainly not me or Black Llama. Now go out and get you one or two. Well, hello darlings. I am in the laundromat because I don't want to have to go through what I've been going through, i.e. all the noise in my apartment. So this is from my Instagram interview with Canadian star Paris Black. I loved doing this interview. It was so rewarding. He has such a yellow disposition, so smart, so handsome, and just an all-around nice guy. I feel privileged to have been able to do this interview, and I hope his fans enjoyed it, his viewers, his supporters. I hope he enjoyed it. This is the same video, this is the same interview, but I've uploaded some Paris content. I've uploaded one of his endearments from Instagram. I also uploaded two music videos, one of which was his request. So enjoy it, get to know him, support it. You know, support your smaller artists. You know, making a living in the entertainment industry is not easy, and it's very difficult to understand as far as music goes because the royalties and everything. But support them, buy their songs, even if they're not making monetization or much money from it. The fact that you bought it, a piece of their music, a piece of their soul, a piece of their art, that means something to them. I feel so good when I meet positive people. It makes me think everything's going to be okay, Hillary. And you know what? Everything is going to be okay. I thank you so much for all your support. The interview on Instagram got 3,200 views in less than 12 hours. Now, for my channel, that's really great for that quick. It just makes me think that everything's going to be okay. And you know what? To all the supporters of Hill Jane Unfiltered, it is going to be okay. You know, we can get through anything. We can make it through this life as long as we're together. And remember, forget your drama. Come watch mine. See you soon and enjoy. Boop.
Surface break. Too late, I'm drawn to the blue flame, the point of no return. When will you notice what you started in me? Let me taste your dirty kisses. Let me be the only one who knows your
Well, hello, darlings. Welcome to a live episode of Hill Jane Unfucking Filtered. Live on IG, on Instagram. I know I'm so unhip. The kids are all on TikTok, right? Isn't that where all the kids are now? I'm old school now. How exciting is it that I have the super hot Mr. Paris Black joining me, Canadian supermodel, rock star, and let me just tell you something. And he's here, and we're going to get with him in just a minute. Get with him. What kind of minds do you people have? Naughty, naughty, naughty. Can everybody hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Before I bring Paris on, let me know if you can hear me. And I'm just doing my nails. Hi, Lauren. Can you hear me?
And you thought,
Hello?
and you thought we'd never last. Hi, Paris, can you hear me?
I didn't hear you a second ago. It was transitioning over, but it's good to see you. Good to meet you finally in some kind of a more real sense.
I'm so excited. I just want everyone to know that what a bunch of trouble I have getting genuine people in the entertainment industry, i.e. celebrities, to do Hill Jane Unfiltered. I approached a bunch of Madonna Blonde Ambition Tour dancers. Oliver wanted to get paid. Kevin said, I'm on my honeymoon. What do you want? Carlton never returned my call. I couldn't get a hold of Slam. Let's see. Allison Arngrim, who played Nellie on Little House on the Prairie, she said, call my manager. You know, so when I do have someone as sweet as you who agrees to do it, you don't ask for anything. You didn't even ask for any promotion, you guys, and that's one thing I'm good at besides pushing people.
Well, just promote all the time. My view on things nowadays is that there's a glut of material out there. There's a glut of people releasing records and all this. So the most important people that you could possibly talk to are the people that are putting shows on, and like your show, where you put a lot of effort into doing it, and you've got like a really cool personality and way about you and angle to it. So happy to be on it.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And it's been a hell of a week, and I'm going to start off. I'm going to ask a lot of stupid questions at first because it's genuine, really stuff that I don't know. So I did a little bit of research on you. First and foremost, everyone, this is a real Canadian star. I want everyone to know that. This is not someone who sang backup for a backup singer of so-and-so. This is a real, genuine star. He's been on the cover of Cashbox. Cashbox magazine is the equivalent to the Billboard magazine. He's been on the cover. So you weren't born in Canada. Where were you born, my darling?
I was born in Denmark, and I moved to England when I was 3, and then I moved to Canada when I was 10. A lot of people in Canada came from other places.
And it's, you know, everyone, Canada has this thing. Everyone in Canada is so nice, and in my experience, boy, they sure are.
Thank you.
How are you accepted as how should I classify you? You remind me of, not Peter Steele, but who's the other guy? The goth singer? Not your music, but your look.
Yeah.
Not Peter, not Harry Rollins, but who's the other? There's one.
My wife actually used to go out with Henry Rollins. But yeah. But you know, I'm never concerned about what anybody's going to think about anything or how I'm going to be accepted or anything like that. I do the music I feel like doing. Like I'll do pretty much of a metal album one time, and then the next album would be
country. You have a country song.
Pop, and the next could be like really it is what you feel like at the moment, you know, and even mixing it up on there because basically I'm a singer and I just like doing different kinds. I don't feel I have to be associated with one kind of thing. So, you know, I do whatever I feel like. And, you know, I'm blessed to have sort of gotten away with it so far. I mean, I just sort of, you know, I'm not that I'm, you know, making millions of dollars a year or anything, but I'm getting by. and doing what I love, and tolerated by people around me. So that I'm happy about that, you know.
Now, you've been around in the 80s, and since the 80s, and from the pictures, it looked to me like you may have been a little bit of a teen heartthrob. Am I guessing that right?
I was. Oh, I was. Yeah, I was definitely. I started when I was 17. My first record came out when I was 17, and I was definitely. I was at that time talked about as Canada's top teen heartthrob, you know, and that was just, to me, it was a good job to get, you know. Like before that, I moved to New York when I was 15. I guess I went to New York when I was 15 to be either a boxer or an impersonator, like, you know, different people. I want to say the heavyweight championship means everything. I won't freeze you. Won't you? It's right. You know, Southampton, South Jersey naturally is so far. Anyway, so went there to do that, be the impersonator or boxer, but I got to I got actually a contract, literally, from Wilhelmina's while I was buying a shirt to be on Catch a Rising Star. So that changed my life. I really was lucky because I could have gone the other way.
The modeling company Wilhelmina?
Yeah, yeah.
The home of Gia Ferengi. Oh.
So then I got a record deal. I was at, it was the strangest thing. A friend of mine, John Bianchini, had this band, and he asked me to come and sing with them at a place in Toronto called it's kind of a nostalgia bar kind of thing, and it was like Heaven Can Wait or something like that. And so I went in and I just impersonated singers, and then literally when I got off the stage, I had 2 record deals offered to me. So I was very lucky. This was like the late 80s, and things like that happened where they don't happen like that now, you know. So I was very fortunate, and that's how I got the ball rolling. But since then, I morphed my career, but I listened to my management. Like the next record coming out is on AMG Sony, and Mark Berry's the label manager. He's got like 150 gold records. Dwayne Farley is his right-hand man, and they want me to do sort of a rock dance first single. So that's what I'm going to do. And just keep, you know, like you don't bite the hand that feeds you, but at the same time, you do what, you know, what feels right for you. And I don't know, I've been fortunate to do what feels right for me.
Well, it certainly is working out, and it's just so interesting because I've seen you and all the footage. Because I subscribed to your YouTube, and I was watching concerts.
Thank you so much.
Rebel Yell by Billy Idol, one of my favorite songs. And you'll perform in front of 25 people and then 25,000 people. And that's really, I just love that. I love that kind of thing. That's the school that I come from. If there's one person watching, you do a show.
Right. Yes, exactly. If there's one person, you owe them the same, you know, if there's one person really paying attention and really being into it, you owe them this, you know, and you know, you're grateful to them for being there. And you also owe them to do exactly your best. You know, no matter who is there, you do your best because it's a privilege to do what you do. So you just do your best, and you don't ever, never look down on an audience member, and hopefully they won't look down on you too, because we all have bad nights, you know. So people can walk away and they could say, you know, Paris Black sucked or something. So, you know, hopefully on the nights where I do suck, hopefully they're saying, well, he's a hell of a nice guy, so I'm not going to say he sucks.
That's important. That's really important. What do you think about the kids today and, you know, the stars today who, let's say they were discovered on a talent show like American Idol or whatever, X Factor or whatever. In my opinion, they don't really have to work. That's not really working for it. A lot of it's luck, which is luck anyway. But I just like the idea of really going and working for your stuff, or, you know, sing for your stuff, or playing the dives, playing the clubs, playing the bars where you get $30. And because I've done it when I was a showgirl, I used to go to bars and I'd get $15 to $30, and I'd dance my heart out, showed my tits, and, you know, here I am getting $30. But it's all about word of mouth. I truly do believe that.
Yeah, so, I've always, you know, agreed with that. I think look, when I was a kid, I was a boxing champion. Not that great, but I was a boxing champion. And if I could have found a way to make the money like the Paul brothers are making, like making millions and millions of dollars boxing people that can't really box, then I think that's great, because it's still, you got to get in the ring. It's still a tough thing. And I listened to some of the things that like when I listen to I'm focusing on the Paul brothers because I think they did work it. I think they, like you're doing, they figured out how to be a success on the internet and get those followers and turn those followers into money. And I give them a lot of respect, especially because they're like at first when I saw Logan Paul was going to box Floyd Mayweather, I was like so jealous. I was thinking, this guy, he's only been boxing 2 years. I boxed many years, never got a chance to, like, that would be the equivalent of like boxing like a Sugar Ray Leonard or something for like tens of millions of dollars, and it's all an exhibition anyway. So, I was jealous of that. And, but then I got to respect it and respect what he's doing. Now, as far as the music goes, I'm older guy now. I don't know what I think about it. Like, I mean, I know it, whatever music I listened to, people loved it at the time, and people like that were like 20 years older, 25 years older, 30 years older would be saying, I don't like this. So, it's sort of the same thing. I mean, I don't know. To me, there's like no, with the absence of a real drummer, there's a certain soul that's missing, with the absence of real musicians in a lot of the places, there's like, it's like if you listen to something on an American group like the Eagles, I can't tell you why or something, with so much going on, but I wish them the best. I wish everybody the best. I can learn from them, see what's going now, and you never stop learning. And now as far as playing dives goes, I've done a lot of that, believe me. And honestly, I'd rather from now on just play really good clubs. Like if I'm gonna leave the house, I'd like to be getting like a decent amount of money to come, to go and come back to it. But you have to gain a reputation, and the only way to gain a reputation, in my view, is it is not just like doing videos where it's all staged. It's what happens in front of a live crowd, because that's what makes a real performer. If you can't connect and move a live crowd, if you can't be dropped into the pocket and do a great job, then it's nonsense. And I see some performers that really can't, and I'm sorry about that. I see some that really can. I see some that are like the real deal, and I see some that really can't. So as far as the American Idol winners, it's tough for them.
Like
good side of it.
I love the music of the '80s. That was my time too. I think you and I are around the same age. I don't claim it, but yeah, I think you and I are around the same age. It was a great time for music. I am a hardcore fan of Miss Madonna.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
These days, I always hear this. Oh, don't you love Lady Gaga? Isn't she great? I'm like, she's a good singer, but she's the most unoriginal wannabe performance artist I've ever seen in my life. Now, here's the thing. I've seen it all before. Much better. Great singer, but no originality. I mean, and honestly, and this is, and Lady Gaga stands, this is unfiltered. I like my divas to be pretty. Madonna, Britney, Olivia. I like my divas to be pretty. And Lady Gaga seems a lot of times to go out of her way to not do that. But I will never take away her talent. For singing, yes.
Well, I guess it works for her,
right.
Whatever, works for people, it's great. She's got her fans. Now, if she started to not do well, then I'm sure she would change the way she's presenting herself. So,
she did. With art pop, it didn't do well, and it kind of backfired because people were sick of it by then. And she kind of came back and took things slow, and I respect her for that. But it's just, it's a difference between copying and paying homage. If she was paying more of a homage, I would get it. I I would get it. So Alanis Morissette was also a teen star.
I worked with her many times.
I was going to ask, and I didn't want to ask, but I didn't know how to word it, where it not sound like a fan or something. Well, what was she like? Because every time I see her in an interview, so nice, so genuine, so calm, and that song was right at the height of my coming into my 20s and stuff. So, you know.
But she was, we were very young. We went on a tour together with a couple of other Canadian performers, Maestro Fresh West, and Mitsu. So, you know, we got to hang out a little, and she was, she was a nice kid, and I was a nice kid, and we hung out. She was, at that time, when I was working with her, she was more of a dance act, actually. And, yeah, and she was a great dancer and a great performer, like a real kind of a little Britney Spears kind of a girl. Then she moved into my friend's house. John Bianchini, who I mentioned before, she moved into his house, and his roommate Terry and her did the Jagged Little Pill demos there. And she totally changed her persona, and, congratulations. I mean, she's just done a great job. She's done a great job. I've had the pleasure to work with a lot of other acts, and it's nice.
Great songwriter. I love people who can write really good songs, and because these days, as you know, that's where the money is, right? I mean, it's songwriting. It's not in record sales anymore. You know, everything is blah blah blah. From what I hear, it's in songwriting and tours, concerts.
Yeah, it's really in the live stuff. It's really in creating a presence and being able to sell, like, from there. And might not be, like, music is often downloaded now, so it might be other things, ancillary things. Like, I'm going to be coming out with a line of fitness stuff, like protein drinks and, those kind of things. That's one thing that Sony mentioned to me that I should do now. And so it's a different kind of a marketing system, everything's a lot different now. As far as the songwriting goes, I mean, here's the thing about that. Songs are getting stolen all the time now. It's like, and here in Canada, we have a thing.
How many melodies can we come up with? That's how I look at it. Sometimes I'm like, well, I mean, there's only so many melodies to go around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the melodies, but it's also, like for instance, in Canada, we have a thing where when you register a song, they do it by title, but they don't take any clip of the music. So it's registered with no music in the register. So anybody could listen to it and change a couple of words and re-register it, and you can't say anything. So it's really nebulous now. Like when I, 25, 30 years ago when I was starting, there was a sector for a sort of a second-class pop star where, you're not going to make as much money as the Madonnas and, in my case, like the MC Hammers and the Vanilla Ice, and I got to open for those people though, so I got to tour. I got to do a couple of shows with MC Hammer. I got to do a couple of shows with Aerosmith, and like the list just goes on and on. And so basically, there was this second tier where I was selling, 100,000, 200,000 records a year, and like enough T-shirts and things so that I could live a decent life. Like, and my show appearances were like 30,000 a night. So to live a very good life, and it was all possible. But as soon as downloading came and you could steal the music instead of having to pay for it, as soon as that happened in the early 90s, I guess, and then by the late 90s with Napster and all of that, it totally changed how you made money. And it became just to playing live. And then what happened is that it became easy for anybody to burn a CD. So then clubs were saying, hey, when you release your CD, when you release your CD, come and play here and bring your friends here to do it. And that's what people started to do. So there was more and more hobbyists taking that middle space. And, it it became a lot more difficult to make a good living. So it is, you know, it's still in flux. It's still in flux. I know a lot of people doing very well still. I'm getting by, so thank God for that. Everything's, you know, okay. But you know,
Well, what's
we'll see what
important
happens.
for people to know, people who follow me, I'm weary of saying fans, but supporters and viewers who
Of course, they're
follow
fans,
me
sure.
in America, America's not the only place, North America's not the only place where people are stars and people are popular. I want everyone to know that. First and foremost, me, I get hundreds of views in America, but in Europe, let me tell you something. In the Czech Republic, I swear I have to send autographed glossy photos to the Czech Republic. They want me to come and visit and everything. I'm like a really big deal, and that's where my thousands come from. You know, like it's Czech Republic, Russia, Egypt, and then America. So I find that so interesting. But a lot of that comes from webcam too, because my followers from webcam have followed me over YouTube, and they're probably sitting there going, "Is she going to take her top off?" So, you know, they may not even understand what I'm saying, but I'll do anything for a view. And it's very similar.
Okay,
You know,
well,
like
I'm sure you'll be
Trisha
successful then.
Yeah, Trisha Paytas is a YouTube star, and she has some great songs that have sold millions and millions of copies, but they've never charted on Billboard. She's not like Trisha Paytas is a YouTube creator, I love her to death, but she's never charted on Billboard, which is what you want to do. And I find that kind of thing very interesting. It's so weird with downloads, and it's so cheap too. It's not like
it's not like before, but you know, like with you, you can get, you know, you have to be able to monetize like the fan base you have where it is. Interesting about the world, I opened up for Hadaway in 2016, and in the audience was a lady, Helena Summers, from a Norwegian pop band called Diva. And she saw me perform, and she decided that I was the guy to sing this song that she'd written. So then I went to Norway, and I recorded it, and that might even be the first single off the next record, is Stand and Deliver. So, you know, globally is everything. I mean, people like different kinds of things everywhere else. Like, I don't think K-pop would go over gigantic in the United States. I think, you know, that... well, it is going over, but I think it couldn't have started so easily from there. But obviously, a lot of the world... Sorry, I got to turn that off. Sorry. So a lot of the world, obviously, it really worked. So, you know, you gotta take the good with the bad, and the good with this whole internet thing is that, you know, we do get to a lot of people that would never have heard of us before. So, yeah, you got to be able to monetize that. And your thing about anything for a view is perfect. I mean, yeah, perfect.
absolutely. And you know, a lot of my monetization, because I don't have a lot of American subscribers, my monetization isn't all that. But what I do get is a lot of merchandise, a lot of endorsements, and they give, like Black Llama gave me a fur coat.
Who did?
Liza Minnelli, Black Llama, the #1 fur retailer in America. Yeah. Yes, I did a commercial for them and they gave me a coat. And
Wow,
I mean,
that's really great.
I would have rather had that than money, and also to be in, and I'm not saying I'm up there with them, but I'm saying Natalie Wood has been with them, Liza Minnelli, Bill Ball, Joan Crawford, Jane Mansfield. So to be, even if it's far, far down the street, associated like that is just the biggest thing. I'd have done it for free. Anyway, but yeah, you know, you do what you have to do, and I don't make a lot of money at it. I do make, oh, hey baby, Reminds me of that Lords of Acid song.
This is Zygmunt. He's very aware. He's on. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, like being part of it. It's everything. And there was a time in 2013 and 14 where I was posing in the Louvre. You know, and I was posing with and the Louvre and also Musée d'Orsay in Paris. I went over there for Musée d'Orsay for the masculine art show, and they had a number of male models posing, and I was one of them. And then the Louvre, and it was like you could see the statues there of people that posed 3,000 years ago, literally 3,000 years ago. So you're part of the stream of that, and you're part of a growing energy that's all in the good, And there's people that are part of the energy that's not in the good, and I don't think they're going anywhere on the next level. So I mean, I try to be in the good all the time.
Yeah, me too. And I don't ever want to be, I've said that I want to be the first nationally syndicated talk show host who happens to be trans. But at the same time, it's already kind of happened once before with something else, and you sign contracts and they own the title, they own you, and do this, don't do that, don't act like this, and I can't be. I've got to be me. I've got to be me. I don't.
Well, you got to be you.
I don't want to interview Brad Pitt. I would rather interview someone like you, someone that I like, and that I have something in common with.
That's so nice. Well,
stars don't.
If you do interview Brad, tell him that you could ask him if I could be on the show with him, though, because I'm a big fan of Brad. But I think it's great for the trans community to have a voice like you, and to have people that when I was in high school or whatever, you could tell there were people that weren't comfortable in their gender. You could tell. You kind of knew it, but you didn't know how to say it exactly or think about it. But you say, yeah, you could tell, like, this guy really seems like a girl, and this girl really seems like a guy. And now we've evolved to the place where people can be who they are, and whoever that is, the better you can feel in your own skin, and the happier you can feel. You're just going to be a better human, and we have to stop labeling each other anyway. Because I know, I definitely identify myself as being a man, but at the same time, I've got a lot of, female characteristics. Like, I'm very, very emotional. I'm very, very nurturing. I'm the one that would get my heart broken in most relationships, because I always fall in love way harder. And so, I care about animals and plants, and I don't think these necessarily are female characteristics. They're just characteristics of somebody that cares. And I think being assertive and strong aren't necessarily male characteristics, just characteristics of somebody that isn't going to get walked all over. So,
and that's true. And the thing about me is that my whole thing is, yes, I am. So what? Who cares? That's boring. That is such a small part of who I am. And I don't really talk about it until I talk about it much, because it's boring. And I know there are people out there who need to get educated, but at the same time, how about the fact that I took care of my mom when she was dying of cancer? How about the fact that I was there as she, left this earth? How about the fact that, I went through so much in North Carolina? I mean, how about the fact that I have 2 college degrees? So many other interesting things about me. And that's what I tell the kids today, the little ones who are, I'm here, I'm this, get used to it. Okay, that's great. I support you. I will stand next to you anytime. But the way to get people on your side, people are always going to say bad things. I'm tall, I'm colorful, I'm passable, but I'm tall, I'm very colorful, I love fashion, I've got big boobs, got huge lips, big red hair. People look at me. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, where I have a southern accent, and it's okay. Who cares? Don't get mad. I tell the kids, and don't expect mom and dad to understand. Do you really want your parents to understand you? You want them to accept you. But if my mom had ever liked any of my boyfriends, I'd have done something. I mean, you got to, as long, your parents, I promise you, mom will come around. Mom will come around. Give her time. She doesn't understand it. She'll accept it. My mom didn't understand it because she just wanted me. My mother was very gorgeous, very glamorous, like Scarlett O'Hara. She just wanted me to be a drag queen and be fabulous with the big hair, the wigs, and she thought people would be mean. She didn't want people to be mean to her baby. But, I had to do what I had to do. So I want to talk a little bit. We mentioned a little, and by the way, thank you for saying that so much. When there's people in America like Caitlyn Jenner every time we take a step forward, with her we take 5 steps back. It's you know, she's something else. But you know, the name of the show is Unfiltered. So, you mentioned you were married. Done modeling, and to me, you look like, and I'm sure you know who this person is. I hope you know who this person is. You look like a blonde Marcus Schenkenberg, which is why I was very.
Oh yeah. That's very. It's a compliment. Thank you. Thank you.
And I have him tattooed. I have a Marcus tattoo. Marcus has a large gay following. Do you?
Yeah, very large. Absolutely, very large.
So you are, then you're comfortable with your sexuality, and you're comfortable with yourself. And there are times when I see you, and you're kind of androgynous looking, and that's sexy as hell. When these enlightenment videos you do on Instagram, which are brilliant, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I noticed you're very pretty in them. And what do you like? A little bit of androgyny?
Sure, like because like I said before, I don't feel like anybody's 100% male or 100% female. I think everybody's a mixture, and my partner, she's got a lot of very masculine traits, and I have a lot of very feminine traits, and you know, it is what it is, and I think people should just, you know, there's so many things, there's so many ways we categorize people. We categorize people based on the hue of their skin. We categorize people based on the texture of their hair. We categorize people based on their nationality. We categorize people based on their religion. We categorize people mostly based on their gender. I mean, women are oppressed more than anybody in this world. I mean, if you know, there's so many countries where women, or a number of countries, and a lot of the population where women have no freedom whatsoever. And we don't really say much about that because we just don't even want to, you know, address changing it. And I think the last thing we really need to care about is how somebody wants to present themselves. We should care about people's actions. People's actions. Are people kind? Like you were saying earlier about, you know, looking after your mother when she had cancer. That shows somebody of a high, you know, of a high place in life.
Well, thanks for saying that. It was the greatest thing I ever did. I partied with Courtney Love. I saw Madonna in concert on the One Ambition tour. But the greatest thing I ever did was in her twilight years, I took care of my mother. And I always have that. And after she was embalmed, I did her makeup. And that was a moment, that was my best friend. Yeah, that was my best friend. And she told me 2 weeks before she left this earth, if I'm not pretty, don't you have that casket open? Honey, she was so beautiful. I went and enrolled in esthetician school. Seriously, everyone's telling me I should do that. So yes, but like you, I've had a lot. I mean, I know. Go ahead.
If you're going to be, you know, working with the recently departed, then two things. One, you're not going to get any extra tips, but B, you won't get any complaints either. So I guess it kind of works out. I
lasted 2 weeks. You know, I'm not. You know, I am what I am, and I love this. I love to talk. Like I said, I have 2 college degrees, but I prefer to wait tables because that's how I got into webcamming. I met a guest in the restaurant told me about webcamming. He said, "You have a very ample bosom," and I said, "I don't do that." I thought he was talking about something else, and he said, "No, have you ever webcam?" I'm like, "No." And so he told me all about it, and that's how I got into that and became hugely successful. I'm out from best broadcaster of the year. What?
Congratulations.
Thank you. And tell me some of the awards you won, because I know you won Male Vocalist of the Year at the GT. What was it?
I won a number of things this year on the Greater Toronto and Hamilton Music Hall of Fame. I won favorite vocalist, and I won favorite pop artist and favorite rock artist, and best live performer. and there was 5. So there's some best original songwriter. So there were some great things. I'm very grateful, very, very grateful, because any commendation in this business, any commendation. I mean, what I liked about these ones I won. I'm going to say this: they're not big deals, but what I liked about them, they were big deals to me because everybody could vote on them. Is that they put out nominees and everybody could vote. Like when we have awards here in Canada, like the Junos, or like in the States, it's Grammys, they give you a very limited list of people, and you also can't vote on them. So it doesn't really give you an idea of who people are really enjoying the most. It gives you the idea of who labels managed to get put up there and who were basically financed to this point. So that's what it is.
If I can, and the viewers love to see me flirt, and I have to say, when you're on stage, and I watch a lot of footage of you on stage, you're really sexy. You're very sexy.
Thank you.
You definitely have an
Thank
aura. You have an aura. You know how to, I don't want to say sell sex, but you definitely know, you're very in touch with your sexuality, and it works, because I've never seen you grab your dick, I've never seen you be vulgar, but at the same time, it's really hot. And so,
Thank you, sweetie. I mean, the thing about it is, thank you so much. If you embody this thing of sexuality or sexiness or whatever, you don't have to grab your dick. Like, people can look at it, they know it's there. If you're grabbing it, you're forcing them to look at it. If you act a certain way where you just are calm, cool, in control, and giving all your heart and love, so you've got like both sides of the spectrum, male and female, and you're doing that, then people will respond to you. And part of the positive response people get is a sexual response, and that's fantastic.
Yes, it is. And that's, and that goes a long way. So I want to tell everybody, all the viewers, we're going to discuss one more thing, and I know Paris has things to do, but if anyone wants to ask any questions, go ahead and post them, and we will answer them. Ask away. It's his discretion if he chooses to answer them or not. Don't be shy. You're talking to 2 people here who definitely have I'm not shy, and I would say when you're performing, you're not, but I'm thinking maybe when you're off stage, you might be a little timid.
Oh, I'm not. I don't think I'm not reserved in any way. I'll always answer any question. It's not nothing. Nothing makes me feel uncomfortable. Like I would answer.
So I want to segue and just talk. I want to segue for a minute and just talk about what's in the news now. And second to Madonna is Britney Spears. And what do you think with everything that's going on with her? Because it's a big topic in the news. It's touched me personally.
It is a big topic. I used to live in Miami for about 10 years. And there was a club in Miami called Bed. And I went there frequently. And one night there, I saw a 16-year-old Britney Spears. And she was really out of control. She was 16. And her parents, her label, her manager, somebody should have, been looking out for her a lot more. Well, she was just, I'm not going to tell tales on her, but she was just, she wasn't acting in the way she seemed, I just think that
went to the bathroom.
She was really, she was really, she was a young girl in need of guidance. And if her father wasn't there for her then who is he to take all her money and control her life later? Because when he should have really been a good father to her, and he should have been helping her to adjust to her newfound fame and everything, then he should have been there then. I mean, you didn't see Justin Timberlake in those places and acting like that. No, we did see Justin Bieber acting like that when he was 15 and 16 and acting crazy down in, drag racing in the streets and stuff. And his dad was actually part of the people exhorting him on. And I think this is what it was with Britney. I don't think somebody else. I happen to know that a lot of people around Britney aren't looking out for their best interests. A friend of mine actually wrote one of her songs, and Dean Hages, and he never got compensated. So I think she's got not the best people around her, and it would be good if she was in. I mean, look, if she earned the money, why can't she spend it
It
as she
doesn't make
thinks?
any sense. I'm worried. I'm worried because the judge did that weird thing with the conservator this week. So I'm worried. I hope it's just a legality. But I'm really, come on, man. Supposedly someone in the conservatorship on the dad's side is saying there is a big medical issue with Britney that the world doesn't know about. Well, what the hell is it? The woman has had 4 successful tours, a 3-year residency in Vegas, 4 albums, hosted the X Factor. What is this? What is it? Dementia? They try to say she had dementia. I don't have
I don't think
dementia.
she
and I
has
can't remember
dementia because she's memorizing all those lyrics all the time, and that's pretty hard to do. Look, Britney Spears was a huge, huge star. Is still a huge, huge star. So no matter how fast she spends her money, 20 years from now, she'll still be able to get a gig somewhere being Britney Spears. Maybe not making $1 million a contract a year, but maybe, at least making decent money every night, being able to support herself fine. So I say leave her to herself. Do it. I don't really get it. Maybe have some kind of buyout so the kids can get some money. I don't know what they're looking at, but she earned the money. I mean, she's doing the work.
It broke my heart. It broke my heart hearing that reporting of her because she was so mad. And you can tell all this was pent up. And I'm like, that is not someone. Maybe she's depressed, but that is not someone who has a severe mental illness, as they always say. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. And she's from the South. I'm from the South. One thing I noticed was the mom. I know if my mom, if I was going through that and I was being tortured like she is in her own home by these people, my mom would be on the first plane in the car and come and get me and take me out. And her mom never did that. And any Southern mother is going to come get her baby. And her mom didn't do that. And I'm like, what is going on with the mother? And I just think it's very scandalous. They're what we call, I'm not labeling this, but many people in the South would label the Spears white trash. I don't, because to me, she's a goddess.
I've heard that before. I mean, I've heard people say that kind of thing before, but
they're very
I don't like to label anybody. As far as I'm concerned, God bless everybody. People could be the most successful in their life. Just wish everybody well. And in Britney's case, I mean, it just comes down to she made the money. I don't think she's walking around being a hazard to herself or anything like that. But I think it just gets to be a greater issue. I think the bigger issue here is just that we're such a litigious society.
What about your followers? We are. What about, like the YouTube creator, James Charles, who, supposedly sent nude pictures to a 16-year-old and he didn't know they were 16 and everybody just turned on him. I'm like, he didn't. It's just, we love them when they're going up and when they get to the top, we want them to come down. And what's interesting in Europe? They don't really do that in Europe. You can have a prolonged career and it's like Europeans don't seem to rah when you're going up, and then once you reach the top, they don't seem to want you to fall down.
Well, the thing about it is, I'm from Europe, and I can say, what it is that you don't go as high up and you don't go as far down. I mean, when I was working in Norway recently, I was hanging out with some of Norway's biggest stars, but they're just like regular people going to a bar for a drink. Some people come up and ask them for an autograph, but they're not like living like United States. There's a huge, it's a culture of money, so United States, you can have a lifestyle that nobody else can have if you're really, super successful in anything. But you can also have a terrible lifestyle if you're not doing well. And in Europe, there's less of a bottom end. Like, there's people with no jobs, but they're still going out drinking every night because the government security is so good. So, it's just different. So there's different highs and lows. And we have to ask ourselves, what kind of a society do we want to be? Do we want to be a society where people can, a very few can make a lot of money, and a very limited number can actually have a really great life? or do you want to be a society where people are more, we have a more egalitarian view of how people should be, living their life, and that everybody's worth something, and nobody's worthless. And so I'm not knocking the States, though, because look, I love the United States, and I lived there for 10 years. So it's just very different.
So let's segue. I want to talk about the enlightenment little, 2-minute, 3-minute videos you do on Instagram that are so, first of all, they're very intelligent, they're very smart. But one, what made you do that? And is that the way you're feeling that day? Where?
Yeah. I'm just like what it is.
Everybody, he on his Instagram page every day, or almost every day, he'll post a little words of encouragement. I'm looking for a word. It starts with an E, but I can't think of it. But it's words of encouragement, just uplift, endearment things, and it's very intelligent. It's very poignant, and it's not mushy, but it's really smart.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say that we all go through things in life. Obviously, I personally had a real emotionally traumatic issue, which I'm not going to discuss exactly. Happened like on January 1st. And I've sort of been dealing with it since. But part of it was that I had to deal with it. I had to change who I was. I had to change the settings on my ego. I had to put love first. And, I realized that, it's conceptions. Like, it's the way we conceive of things that really, affect us. So what I try to do is try to, give people the chance to rewrite their emotional code and to look at things as the bricks that are in place rather than the bricks that are out of place. Instead of sort of looking at the dust on the floor, look at the beautiful floor the dust is on. And instead of remembering the bad things people did, also remember the good things people did, and put it all out there. And, I realized that very few people probably could have sort of recovered emotionally from the sort of things that I faced on that day. But I did through, first of all, I'm not going to, I say like I study all world religions. I would take Christianity as my own, but it's not because of the way the religion works. It's because of the teachings of Christ. And part of it is to forgive. Part of it is to forget. Part of it is to trust again. And then I would take the concepts of Buddhism, which is if there's two people in the room, the person you're with is the most important person. I would take that concept and try to live my life that way. And that means putting the other person first all the time. And if you really say you're in love with somebody and that you're, people talk about unconditional love, well, that means it's unconditional love. That means that whatever that person does, you're still going to love them. And it means that if you have to take one on the chin every now and again, then you just keep getting back up because it's love, So I think that it's really nice to give people inspiration and to give people the knowledge that they were made in the image of the Creator, which is they're creative beings that can make things happen in this world. As long as there's a spark of life in you and there's hope in you, then you can really affect the world. And I'd like to say that. I'd like to talk about what's good.
You're a light, and I want to say thank you for sharing that with me. And I also want you to know that there's reasons that people meet and talk. 5 years ago, I went through the most traumatic thing that anyone on earth should ever have to go through. And I'm not ready to talk about it either, but I will be doing a show on it in the next few months. It's a very serious issue. It's why I had to leave North Carolina. It doesn't just involve me, it involves another party. And I denied it for a long time. And finally this year, it's the one secret I've actually always kept about myself. but it's coming because I have a voice, and whether it's 800 people, 8 people, 8,000 people, for whatever reason, people enjoy hearing it, and if it can help someone, anyone who's going through something, has been through something, and how I've dealt with it, I've dealt with it by not dealing with it, and now I'm dealing with it. And my philosophy is this: there is nothing on earth that I haven't already been through. Except murder, I haven't been through. I've been through everything. There's nothing I haven't been through. And I have to say, North Carolina was a horrible experience, but by God, it made me a strong bitch.
Well, I'm glad you're sharing that, because there's probably other people in North Carolina that are having the same experience right now. So I think what we have to do, again, is just not judge each other. It's just not, as long as people are treating everybody kindly, the only thing that we should judge is being mean to people, hurting people. We should judge that. But if people aren't doing that, then I don't think we should judge any of the rest of it, because we just want to, make people as happy as we can.
That's right. And be happy. And this has been a blessing. This has been so much fun and so enlightening. I feel like I took a class with some hot, smart teacher. And so thank you so much for doing this, and give everyone your website. Tell everyone your website.
ParisBlackOfficial.com. Everything you need to know is there. Probably a lot that you didn't care about.
He also has a YouTube station with a lot of his solo songs. What are the
I
names of the bands?
got two YouTube. I got a number of YouTube pages. I've got Paris Black and Paris Black. There's two, and then I've also got a fan club, Paris Black, and I've also got Fans and Friends. There's Paris Fans and Friends, and then I also have Act Model, and it's like a figure modeling site where you can see drawings of me and stuff.
We talked much about modeling.
And I've got a Ask Dr. Mars page that I just started up, which is basically, ask me any question about your own life and what you could possibly do, and I'd be happy to answer. Not that I'm going to give you the best answer in the world, but I think I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world, but I got some kind of weird wisdom, and I like to share that wisdom. I have a way of looking at things from all points of view at once.
And I love that. You're very zen. You're very...
Thank you.
And I love that, because I'm oh my God, I'm all over the place, but this has been so much fun. This is really nice, and I feel really lucky.
It's been a pleasure. It's really been a pleasure.
The next time we have to talk more about the modeling, because I want to know about
I would love to do that.
I want to know more about your aspects into, modeling and stuff like that, because my very first time I went to New York, I had to make a pit stop by Boss Models and meet a certain someone who's on my arm. Anyway, but thank you so much, Paris. I appreciate it. You guys, go check out his YouTube channel. I'm going to put a link on the YouTube version of this. And my favorite songs are and his version of Rebel Yell. So, Paris Black, thank you so much. You're a doll. I appreciate it. Mwah. And you're hot as hell.
Thank you.
All relationships are like a traditional breakfast of bacon and eggs. Now both the chicken and the pig are committed to making this breakfast happen. The chicken's committed, but the pig is a little more committed. So don't worry if things seem a little unequal, because you're both committed to making this beautiful breakfast happen.
That's right, the moon takes you. She came dancing to my you, baby. A million miles for you. I sell my soul to you, baby. Just remind me to burn for you, for you. I give you all that I'm doing, baby. Just remind me to burn for you, for you. I sell my soul to you, baby. Just go, just go, just go. Let me hear my breathing. Let me know you want more. Thank you, and good night.
One more song! Woo!
Paris Black, everybody. And this closes out the 7th International Eureka Art Festival.
Penny, me, and Nomi. Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know that I will be reviewing, it'll probably be out tomorrow afternoon. I'm reviewing the 1989 television movie Small Sacrifices, the story about Diane Downs, the woman who killed one of her kids and tried to kill the others, portrayed by Farrah Fawcett. So that will be in the movie review this week, and it's coming out tomorrow. I'm halfway done. Okay? Thank you. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, subscribe and like. You've stuck around this far.